Okay, welcome everybody. So I want to make this a mini shiur, a mini chabura, in a series of how to put the Chai Klolim and a Derech in learning Likutei Moharan in depth into practice. As we like to say, everyone learns a bit differently. But we're putting forward something today that can be a good place to get started, or a little good place to understand how one can begin to approach Likutei Moharan Be'iyun. We all know, we've said many times that the Rebbe said that we can approach his Torah and be medayek kemikra. That means to be precise and ask questions the same way as if we were learning Chumash. Be careful with every single word. And my experience is, and the experience of many others, is that when you learn like this, and you're very careful with every word, that's when the beauty of Likutei Moharan really begins to come out, and the depth really begins to come out. So we're going to do this in 2 stages today. We're going to go through, and we're going to ask questions, and we're only in the first paragraph right now. We're only going to be doing the first paragraph, so starting with Al Yedei Emunas Chachamim, after the introduction, and going only up until Aval Kishapoigem Be'emunas Chachamim. That's it. And what we're going to do is we're going to ask a bunch of questions, and then we're going to do the next step, which is to begin to formulate a Mehalech in the Torah. To begin to formulate a Mehalech. And there's a few things we have to have in mind for this. First of all, that as we begin to formulate a Mehalech, we have to be open to the fact that it's going to change. And that we may actually end up throwing it out completely. So what I'm going to say today, I'm not sure that it's going to make it to the end of the Torah or not. But it's a way that we're beginning a Mehalech to understand this Torah. And by doing that, we will, as we go through the Torah, and we're Makayim, the first of the Chai Klolim, of Minei Ubei, meaning we're learning from each subsequent paragraph to help to explain the ones before, and vice versa, right? So that new things will come out, and new ways of understanding, and deeper ways of understanding will come out. So we're ready to start to make a Mehalech. You have to have a little bit of emunah, and you have to also have a little bit of self-confidence, and not be afraid to be embarrassed. Because we may come up with something that in the end we may find is not really the derech that we come out. And the final thing that we say when we're learning like this is that we're not saying that this is pshat in the Likutei Moharan. We're not saying this is what the Rebbe is saying. We're saying that the Rebbe is speaking to me. This is the way that I'm understanding what the Rebbe is saying. You could see it differently. That's okay, because the Rebbe's Torah is so deep that even if I spend a lot of time on this and I make a Mehalech, right, it's 1,000 levels below him. So who's to say that my understanding is different from yours or yours? Maybe yours is higher than mine. Maybe yours is lower than mine. Maybe, who knows? Maybe we're all wrong. But we're trying our best to listen to the Rebbe speaking to us with Emunah and L'Shem Shemayim. You with me, guys? Okay, so let's go. So we're starting with Al Yedei Emunas Chachamim. That means we're skipping the introduction of Chadi Rebbe Shimon for this particular chabura. So Al Yedei Emunas Chachamim Yecholin lahoitzi mishpateinu laor. Through Emunas Chachamim, we are able to bring out our mishpat to light. So right away, we have a number of questions to ask over here. We're not going to answer the questions right now. The answering of the questions is going to be when we start to formulate the derech. So first of all, why does it have to come out? Why does it have to come out to light? Where is it? Is it hidden somewhere? It has to come out? What does that mean? Secondly, mishpatenu, our mishpat. What does that word mean? Right? What does it mean? This word has a lot of English meanings. Judgments, laws, right? What does that mean specifically to me? And where is it now that it's hidden that it has to come out? And you'll note, so this is a funny way to ask a question in Likutei Moharan, but if you look at the BRI English translation of this, in the main translation, he never translates the word mishpat, mishpatenu. He always just leaves it as mishpat in English, M-I-S-H-P-A-T. So why is he not doing that? It's a funny question, but what does it mean? Ki mishpat hu amuda de emtza isa. Because mishpat is the center pillar. I'm going to read one more. Hainu bechinas derech hamamutza, which is the middle path, which is an aspect of the middle path. So right away we can ask over here, what does this mean? First of all, what does it mean, amud de emtza isa, the central pillar? Where is this term coming from? It's like he's quoting something. He's all of a sudden stating an Aramaic term, amud de emtza isa. Where is that being drawn from? Where is that coming from? What does it mean? And then, why are we saying two things that both are speaking to like a middle path, a middle thing? We're saying that it's the amuda de emtza isa, the middle central pillar, and then, which is the middle path. Tell me one thing that I hear, it's in the middle. What are you telling me two things for? Right? If the Rebbe told us every word I'm using is thought through, I'm teaching you something with every single word, then why is he telling us two different things that are both talking about the middle? What is it? Where is Amud Hamzisa coming from? Derech HaMemutza. What's Pshat? There's more, by the way, there's more questions to ask in here than the ones I'm asking today. Okay, so I know, Bechinas Derech HaMemutza, which is the aspect of the middle path, She'enon noite leyamin u'lesmol, that it does not lean to the right or to the left. Okay? So you could ask here also, if you're already telling me it's the middle, then why do you have to tell me it doesn't lean to the right or the left? Why would I think that you just told me it's in the middle twice. It's a center pillar, it's the middle path. It doesn't lean right to left. I know it doesn't, because you already told me it's in the middle. So what is this adding that doesn't lean right to left? Next. V'zeh zoichin al yedei emunas chachamim. This we merit through emunas chachamim, through faith in the sages, trust in the chachamim. So, first of all, why are we zoiche it, as opposed to we develop it, we can learn it, we're zoiche to it. Zoiche means I merit it. Why do I have to merit it? And why is it emunas chachamim that gives me these things? A simple question. Shehu bechinas, that is an aspect of loy sasar min hadavar asher yagidu lecha yamin usmol. Pasuk in Devarim, do not stray from the word that they will tell you, right or left, right nor left. Right. So the question of this over here is, if the Rebbe is bringing a pasuk, he's coming to prove something to us. He's coming to give us something, either a proof or an example or something new. What is this pasuk telling me? It seems, simply speaking, that he's saying, emunas chachamim, don't go right and left. And here's a pasuk, right? What does the pasuk say? Emunas chachamim, don't go right or left. Like, what's that telling me? How is that? You just told me the exact same thing. What new is this giving to me? What extra is this pasuk giving to me? Right? We said already very clearly. Through emunas chachamim, we're gonna have this thing that we're calling our mishpat's gonna come out to light, and we're gonna be on the middle path, which means not going right to left. Okay, and that happens through emunas chachamim, like the pasuk says. Listen to what they tell you. Don't go right and left. Another question. If I have emunas chachamim, won't I be listening to them? Doesn't that mean I'm listening to them? And if they tell me to do something, right, and I have emunas chachamim, of course I'm not going to go right or left, right? If I go to the chacham and I ask him, am I allowed to shave or cut my hair on Lag BaOmer by night? right? Like the night before. And he tells me, no, you're not. You have to wait till the morning. Whatever. You have to wait till the morning, right?
That's what I asked.
So, right? So this question was asked by many people over the last little while.
Sure.
So what do I, and he tells me, no, you have to wait till the morning. And I have Emunas Chachamim. So I'm going to listen to him. What's the chashash that I'm going to go right? If I don't have Emunas Chachamim, then I won't listen to him. Then I might go right or left. But if I have Emunas Chachamim, why do I have to be told, don't stray from it?
Mm-hmm.
What's the worry? What's the havamina? What's the situation I'm going to be in? Right? If it's clear. So the question really is, and this is already leading to part of the Mehalech, is if I have a clear psak from a chacham, from a rebbe, right? This is what you do. And I have Emunas Chachamim, then what do I need this for? What do I need this whole Torah? Why do I need to bring my mishpat out to light? What's the whole thing? Okay, that's the question. Valkein. So because of this, because of all this we said on the pasuk, Ayedezeh yoytze hamishpat barer. So through this, the mishpat is going to come out clear, kanal, like we said. B'chinas mishpatei emes. So now it's going to be this aspect of mishpatei emes, true mishpatim. Oh, so what do you mean mishpatei emes? So there's such a thing as mishpatei sheker. Isn't a judgment or a law? Isn't that already? It's a law. It's a judgment. What's the emes or sheker? Right? What's the difference? What do they mean? Not the clearest question, but a little further. Hainu, kichol halimudim sheha'adam loimed. All of the learning that a person learns, tzarich sheyakabel veyotzim mehem mishpatei emes. It has to be that he will receive and will come out from them mishpatei emes, true mishpatim. So he's telling us something else now. He's adding in over here that it has something to do with a person learning. Right? So I thought Emunas Chachamim means that a Chacham tells me something, and now I listen to them. And if I have Emunas Chachamim, I listen to them. If I don't have Emunas Chachamim, so then I'll go off the Derech right or left. Right? But now the Chacham seems to be out of there, and it's now I'm learning. So I mean, there's an obvious answer to this question, but we'll get there. But it's about me learning. It's not just about. It sounds like, right? It sounds like it's about me, as opposed to about the rabbi, the chacham, the rebbe. So I have to receive something, and now again it has to come out mishpatei emes. I have to receive something. And then what has to come out is true mishpatim. What am I receiving? Am I receiving mishpatim, true mishpatim? And so then I have to receive them, and then they also have to come out? Is that seems a little bit redundant? If I have to receive them and they come out, why don't they just flow right through? Is the receiving that I'm receiving the same thing or not? Right? Another good question. And so he says, Shelo yiyeh bebechinas mishpat me'ukal. That it shouldn't be that in the aspect of a crooked mishpat, crooked judgment. So I'll ask this: we can have a mishpat mu'ukal, a mishpat that's crooked, as it sounds like that's maybe the opposite of mishpatei emes, right? Of true judgment is a crooked judgment or a distorted judgment, a distorted mishpat. So but how is that connected to the beginning of that sentence? He said, if we don't do the beginning, so in other words, if we don't do what the first part of the sentence says, then it could end up being a mishpat me'ukal, a crooked mishpat. What's the first part says? Says shetzarich sheyakabel, we have to receive, and then bring out mishpatei emes. Because if we don't do that, it sounds like if we don't receive and then give out mishpatei emes, then it could end up as a crooked judgment, crooked mishpat. What does one have to do with the other? what's the thing I have to receive in order that my mishpat should be emes, as opposed to me'ukal, as opposed to crooked. So he says now, Tahainu, sheyakabel v'yilmad mikol halimudim shalomed. So what does that mean? Now the Rebbe is going to explain that we have to receive and we have to learn from all of our learning that we learn mishpatei hanhagos, mishpatim of conduct, of behavior, right? So I'm not sure there's a question. Yilmad mikol halimudim shalomed. It seems to be that there's an extraneous repetition of this word that has the shorish lamed mem daled, which means to learn. That you should learn from all of your learning, that you learn mishpatei hanhagos. I'm just thinking about this question now, by the way. I'm not sure I have an answer for it yet, but maybe we do. We'll see if it's part of the Mehalech or not. And so what has to come out is mishpatei hanhagos, behavior. Is mishpatei hanhagos different from mishpatei emes? Or is it the same thing? Is one before the other? Is one, if I could give a hint already, is one further out than the other? Or is one more hidden than the other? Let's see. So what does that mean? Sheyeda eich lehiznaheg, that we should know, a person should know, he should know how to conduct himself. Hein la'atzmai, both himself, hein la'acherim shemiznahagim lefi daitoi, and so too others who conduct themselves according to his das. Right? Okay. So we're introducing something new, that there's others that are going to conduct themselves according to my das. Kol echad ve'echad kefi bechinasai, every individual according to their own bechina, or their own aspect. Kefi ha-memshala v'ha-rabbanas sheyesh lo, according to the ruler, the leadership and authority that person has. Does everyone have leadership and authority? Does of all the people we know, everyone has rabbanas? Everyone has memshala? I'm like, memshala is the modern Hebrew word for government. Right? We have such power? What's it speaking about? I'm not going to answer all these questions today, by the way. Hey, larav, oilamat, whether it's a lot or a little. These aspects. All of this, we are zoiche to through emunas chachamim. So, why is it that all of this we are zoiche to through emunas chachamim? Why doesn't it just say that emunas chachamim, if we have emunas chachamim, we'll do all this? If I have emunas chachamim, I'm going to listen to the rabbis, I'm not going left or right, right? Everything I do is going to be true and clear, not sheker, not mu'ukal, not crooked, right? Why? Because I have emunas chachamim, I listen to them, right? Why is it through having emunas chachamim, all of this will happen? It sounds like there's a bit of a disconnect, that it's not a direct result of, or a direct flow out of emunas chachamim. What do I mean by that? I would say a direct flow out of emunas chachamim is, I have emunas chachamim, the Rav tells me to do something, and I do it exactly the way he told me. Right? That is emunas chachamim and a direct result of it. The Rebbe is saying, all of these things that we just talked about, all of these mishpatei emes, and mishpatei hanhagos, and borur, and it's yotzi, and a makabel, all of these things, everything we just said, is al yedei, we're zoiche to, we merit al yedei emunas chachamim. It doesn't sound as direct. It sounds like there's something bigger going on here, to me. Shu bechinas, which is an aspect of, so emunas chachamim is an aspect of loy sasur. Why is he repeating this bringing this pasuk again here? This is the first question. The second question is why did he only say the first two words? Why did he only say loy sasur? Why didn't he say the whole pasuk? Or why didn't he say that that is a bechina of yamin usmol? Or loy sasur min adavar. He
says v'kulei.
Okay, but he could have said that before also.
No, he already said it. Now he's repeating it. So the cool.
Okay. Okay. I hear. Yeah, it's good. Yeah. So there's a 5-hole. It does not happen with my question with this one. I hear. Happens to be. I thought about it a lot, and I have a thought about why it might be like that.
Okay.
But could be not. The last sentence. Va'az yuchal loheitzi. Then we will be able to bring out mishpatei hanhagos yesharis. Mishpatim of conduct that are straight and upright. So it's the first time we've heard yesharis. First of all, straight. Yeah, it's the first time we've heard this word, and so he said. Now he said we're zoicha to all this, which is presumably being able to bring out mishpatei hanagas, right, through emunas chachamim. Shehu, which is an aspect of emunas chachamim, is an aspect of loy sasur, right, and then we will be able to bring out mishpatei hanagas yisharis. How is that connected to this loy sasur? How is it connected to loy sasur? Because the Rebbe clearly said, he could have said, you get all this by having emunas chachamim, and then you'll be able to bring out mishpatei emes, mishpatei hanhagas yisharis, right? But he stuck in that loy sasur in the middle, right? You're going to merit all this from having emunas chachamim, which is a bechina of loy sasur, and then you're going to be able to bring out mishpatei hanhagas yisharis, mishpatim of conduct that are straight and upright. Bechinas, which is an aspect of mishpatei emes, which is an aspect of mishpatei emes, she'eno noite liyamin usmal, which doesn't veer or stray left, right or left, as we said. So, maybe a question, maybe not, but he's not bringing, like, this is another reason why I'm saying this. He's not bringing at the end, like, he's not saying at the end, like the pasuk had said, Lo sasur min hadavar sheyagidu lecha yamin usmal. Right? Even though he says in the end that you're not going to stray right or left. Another thought. Okay, so those are a bunch of questions, and it's why is it important to have questions like this? It's because we're only going to begin. First of all, the Rebbe told us to look at every word very carefully and ask these questions. We're only going to be able to bring out, to hear what the Rebbe is trying to tell us with every word, if we focus in and we notice and we create a space to be able to hear what the Rebbe is saying. The question, if I see that there's something missing that my mind focuses on, my neshama focuses on, it creates like a keli that the Rebbe can speak to me now. Right? This works. This is same principles in learning Gemara also, by the way. Right? If I just go over it and I say, okay, I'm not interested in what in these questions. Why is there a center pillar and then a middle path? Okay, I'm not even thinking about it. I'm not. It's not jumping out at me. I'm never going to ask a question, and I'm never going to begin to hear. I haven't made a keli to hear that there's an issue here that the Rebbe will be able to tell me why the center pillar and the middle path. Asking a question makes a keli, makes a vessel to be able to hear the answer, right? So even though I don't know if I'm going to get answers to all these questions, I'm certainly not giving answers to all these questions today, even in the Mehalech that we're going to start today, right? But if I have the question, at least it's there. At least when something does come up, there's a keli already ready. You hear? So let's go. Let's begin. So why do we have to begin to make a Mehalech? Mehalech means a sort of like a pathway, sort of like a method that we're going to begin to try to understand what he's saying over here. We're forging a path forward now, right? It's from the word Mehalech is from the word like halicha, lahalech, lech lecha, to go, to walk, right? So it's a pathway. We could ask questions. We could continue to ask questions. We could go through the whole Torah. We could sit here for 10 hours asking questions on every word, right? And we haven't gotten deep into the rest of the Torah yet. We're only getting deep right now into this particular paragraph. But we can't, we have to begin. This is one of the interesting things that I think that I sort of came out learning together with Rav Nachman Fried, in an everyday chavrusa, be'iyun like this, is that there comes a point where you have to begin to put something out there, to start a Mehalech, right? Because otherwise, you're not going to get anywhere. You're going to be bogged down by the depth of the whole entire thing. It's going to become too overwhelming. So we start a pathway, we start a method, we start a Mehalech, and like we said, we're open that we could be wrong, no problem. Okay, that's what we're starting over here. So, so first of all, let's start talking about the word mishpat, mishpat. So, and later on in this paragraph, when he tells us that it has to do with our own learning, through our own learning, we're going to come up with mishpatim, with mishpatei emes. We can see that this word mishpat is referring to us, something that we have to do, we have to pull out, and we have to bring it out. Mishpat, so it's from the word law, it's from the word judgment, it's from the word shofet, which means a judge. So, what's a law? What's a judgment? It means that you have to take information, if you're a judge in a case, you have to hear all the facts, but then you have to take all those facts and you have to apply them in a certain situation to come out with like a psak din. A decision, a judgment, a psak kilu, something like this, right? Like we mentioned, the word psak is from the word to stop, to cut off. Why? Because you have a Talmud Chacham who's learning Torah, who knows everything, all the shitas, all the the Chumash, the Gemara, Rashi, Tosfos, Rishonim, Achronim, everything, all the poskim, all the modern day poskim and everything, right? But there comes a point where you have to stop going through all the shitas and learning everything, and someone says, how do I do it? What do I do now? Psak. Right? Stop. You have to stop, and the posik gives you an eitzah, gives you a psak halacha, whatever, and you have to do it. So that's kind of what mishpat is. A judge, you hear, so shofet, we all have to be shoftim, is the way we're starting this. Whatever we're involved in, we are shoftim, we're judges. And we have to come out with a din. We have to come out with something, which we're going to see later on in this paragraph that we spoke about, is mishpatei hanhagas. How, it's okay, I can hear, I can learn, I can from all of the learning that I'm learning about what I'm learning, like he says learning 15 times over here in the paragraph, right? From all of that big picture of all the learning that I'm doing, I have to come out with a mishpat hanhaga, with a way, fine, I learned it all, how do I govern myself now? How do I conduct myself now? Right? So efshar to say that this is the beginning of our Mehalech, that the word mishpat is being used for this reason. Because we're going to be in a situation where we don't know exactly what to do. We don't have the Rav standing right in front of us, telling us exactly what to do, but rather we have to take what we have and we have to decide, this is how I'm living my life. Right? I have to be a shofet, I have to make a mishpat, and I have to bring it out. I have to bring it out. What does it mean to bring it out to light? Because it's hidden. It's the type of situation where I have Amunas Chachamim, and I have a Rav, I've had Rebbeim, I learn Gemara, I learn Likutei Moharan, I learn everything, right? But that's all hidden inside my mind. Whatever I have is hidden in there. There comes a time when I have to have a mishpatei hanagas, I have to figure out what to do, I have to bring it out. All that stuff that's floating around up there has to come out in the way that we're saying right now. It has to come out into light, into the world, into practicality. After to say, this is where we're going. This is the beginning of our Mehalech. Now, ki mishpat hu amud ha'emtzeisa. Mishpat is the center pillar. Hainu b'chinas derech ha'mamutza, which is the middle path, which doesn't veer or lean to the right or to the left. We asked, why is it these two different statements? And what do they both mean? Right? So, two things. So first of all, amud ha'emtzeisa means the center pillar. What's the characteristics of a pillar? Right? A pillar is something that its whole purpose is strength and support. Strength and support and security. This is what a pillar does, right? Okay, if you look, you'll see that Amud Sisa is a quote from the Hakdama of the Tikkunei Zohar. And he explains over there that the Amud Sisa really refers to Torah and refers to Tiferes, which is in the middle channel of the spheres, right? And which represents the middle, and to the right you have Chesed, and to the left you have Gevura, right? But the middle is Tiferes. So he says that over there. There are Kabbalistic things that we'll get into deeper and deeper, but for now, let's leave that aside, and let's look at it like this. Amud Sisa, it's a pillar, the center pillar. A pillar is strong, a pillar is supportive, a pillar is security, right? And then we go into Derech HaMemutza. What's the middle Derech? What's Lashon Derech? Derech is a path. Derech is something I walk on. It's the thing I move through. It's not sitting still like a pillar. It's not just a strong a pillar is stationary. It's not a strong, stationary, secure spot. I'm out walking. I'm moving. I'm not in my home, which is my secure place. I'm moving around. So there's something about the pillar, which is could be the place of support and security. And then there's the derech that I go out on. Right? So what's pshat? So efshar to say, once again, this is only the beginning of the Mehalech, but that having emunas chachamim, right, gives me this aspect that I have in my essence, at my base, I have a certain aspect of security. I have something strong and supportive, that this is my base, this is my pillar, this is my anchor, this is what supports me. It's like a secure home base almost, right? You know, I like I said yesterday, you have a child who comes from a home that is secure and safe. So that kid now can go out into the world and have a different experience than a kid who comes from an abusive, broken, drug abuser home, whatever it is. They don't want to be at home, and they go out into the world, and terrible things happen, right? Having a secure home base is something very, very special. So in our inner selves, right, having emunas chachamim means that we have something that grounds us. We have somewhere where we know that we go to get emes, right? We have something that's powerful, that's 100% guaranteed, and that is our chachamim. That's, Tanaim, Amarayim, Rishonim, Achronim, right? This is what we have. These are our grounding, and it gives us a secure place that everything we have comes from, right? But we also have to get out into the world, and we have to go. And we're not always in a place where we just have a Gemara in front of us, and we have everything we need. Rather, like we've been saying, I'm going to find myself in situations where I'm out on a pathway somewhere. I don't have my rabbi beside me. I don't have Shulchan Aruch with me. Right? What do I do? So that's the place where I can be noite yamin usmol, where I don't have exactly clearly what's required of me, what I should be doing, how I should conduct myself in front of me. That's when I'm out on the derech, and I can go to the right or left. I can go off the derech, either to the right or the left, or I can stay on the derech. Right? If I have the foundation of the Amud Sisa, of this pillar of emunas chachamim, this is going to give me the ability to not go right or left.
Nice.
We still don't know exactly what it is yet, right? So then he says, we're zoicha to this. We merit to be able to be in that situation and be able to hold ourselves through emunas chachamim. But once again, we're zoicha to it through emunas chachamim. Not I just ask my Rav and he tells me what to do. Not it's 100% clear. But when I'm in that place, because I have emunas chachamim, I'm zoicha to something. That emunas chachamim gives me some kind of koyach, some kind of strength. That now when I'm in that situation, I'm zoicha to be able to stay on the path. Shu bechinas, lo yisasser min hadavar asher yigidu lecha yamin usmol. Don't veer from what they will say to you, from the matter that they will tell you, right or left. So efshar to say, I want to say like this. Maybe it's too much of a drasha. I don't know, but I think it's good. We just have to kind of re-punctuate this pasuk. Punctuate, right? So loy sasser. What does loy sasser mean? So usually we translate it as don't stray. Don't stray. Don't stray what? From min hadavar asher yagidu lecha, from the thing that they will tell you, right or left.
And that's referring to the Rabbana.
That's referring to, so the pasuk in Devarim, one of the important steps is to go through the psukim and see them in depth, see all the mefarshim and everything. We're not at that stage right now. We're beginning to develop Mehalech, and we'll get, but even if you look over there, you'll see, it tells you over there, you're going to go to the Kohen, the Levi, or the Shofet, who's in that time, and they're going to tell you what to do when you need to know what to do, and don't stray from what they tell you, right or left. Usually we translate it like that. But Lo Sasser is also, it's also future tense, right? It doesn't only mean, actually it doesn't at all mean necessarily, that you will not, but it means, don't, or what it really means is you will not. Loi tasur, you will not, right? Loi asur, I will not. Loi yasur, he will not. Loi tasur, you will not, right? You will not stray right or left. You want to know why you will not stray right or left? From where will I get the strength and the ability to not stray right or left? Min hadavar asher yagidu lecha. Because you listen to what they tell you. You are the person who listens to the Chachamim. You have emunas Chachamim. Where will I get my power? Where will I get my ability? When I'm in that situation, I don't know what to do. Where will I get my ability not to stray right or left? Min hadavar asher yagidu lecha. Because you always listen to them. You've listened to them over and over again, right? You listen to what they tell you. You have emunas Chachamim. Now, loy sasser, you will not stray right or left. You hear? Why do we have to say that? Because if not, what's the raya that he's bringing? Right? It's ki'ilu, he said, have emunas Chachamim. Emunas Chachamim is good, and it will give you all these things. It will help you to have mishpatenu la'or. You'll be bringing mishpatenu to or. It's the center pillar, center path, right? And how do you get this center path, center pillar, and not going right or left? Through emunas Chachamim. Here's a pasuk. Listen to them, don't go right or left. How is that you're going to be zoicha through emunas Chachamim? And then the pasuk just says, listen to them. Right? It seems like that's not a raya to ze zoichin al yedei emunas Chachamim. Okay, so once again, when we ask the question, what do you mean ze zoichin al yedei emunas Chachamim? Why not just this is emunas Chachamim? If you listen to what they say, that's emunas Chachamim. Don't go right or left. He didn't say that. He said ze zoichin. We're going to merit this ability that we are trying to create our Mehalech over here. That there's something's going to change in you. That when you're in a situation and you don't know exactly what to do, you're not going to go right or left. You're going to have proper mishpatei emes, mishpatei hanhagas. You're going to know what to do. That happens through emunas Chachamim. Like the pasuk tells us over here, you will not stray, right or left. How? How will I have the power and the ability to not stray right or left? Because I listen to them. I have emunas Chachamim. That's why. That's why I'm going to build up this power. Min hadavar asher yagidu lecha. Balkein. Al yedei zeh yoitzi mishpat barer. Through this, therefore, through this, we will bring out mishpat barer, clear mishpat, clear decision. I was a shofet. I had to decide what to do, and I was able to do it with clarity. Why? Because I have emunas Chachamim. Bechinas mishpatei emes, which is an aspect of mishpatei emes. Why are those two things there? I don't know yet. Now he's going to tell us. Hainu. You don't like my Mehalech yet? You think I'm being too medayek? So now the Rebbe is going to tell us. Like I said, you don't like my Mehalech so far? You think I'm being too medayek? Oh, the Rebbe says now. Hainu. This means what I just told you over here. This thing that in my Mehalech, emunas Chachamim now is going to give you the ability to build up a certain power, a certain koyach, a certain ability that even when I don't have my Rebbe with me, I don't have the Shulchan Aruch with me, I'm not going to go right or left. Right? What does that mean? Ask the Rebbe. He says, Hainu. This is ki chol halimudim she'adam loimed. All of the learning that I learn, tzarich sheyekabel. I have to receive from it. Ve'yoytzi mehem mishpatei emes. And I have to bring out from it mishpatei emes. So what do I have to be makabel? What do I have to receive? If I have emunas chachamim, when I'm learning Gemara, I'm a makabel. I'm receiving from them. Have you ever learned with a person or heard a person learn who doesn't have emunas chachamim, and who's like it's very unfortunate when such a thing happens, but somebody who can learn the words of a Gemara and say, this rabbi doesn't know what he's talking about. He doesn't. No, he doesn't know. I know, right? That guy is not being makabel anything. That guy is driving an agenda that he has in his mind, right? If you have emunas chachamim, that means that when you're learning, you are going to be makabel from Gemara Rashi Taisos, right? You're going to be makabel from Abai and Rava, Beis Hillel and Beis Shammai, right? You're going to be makabel. You're going to receive, and then when I receive it, now I can bring out from it mishpatei emes. But I first have to. He's telling me what it is. He's telling me exactly what we just said. First, emunas chachamim, receive, take, accept from the chachamim. Now you can bring out mishpatei emes. Because you had emunas chachamim, you're going to be able to be moitzi mishpatei emes. That it shouldn't be a crooked judgment. That's what would happen if I was like that other guy and I wasn't receiving. I was just learning, and I'm driving this ship, not Abai and Rava, right? I'm driving the ship, and I don't like what they said. I have a better idea. What's going to come out? I'm not going to have ways guiding me in the right direction. I'm going to be making a turn in the wrong direction, and I'm going to end up in the Chuppetsville somewhere, right? Not on the right path where I'm supposed to be going. Because if what I'm doing is coming from emunas chachamim, it's going to be straight, it's going to be emes, it's going to be barer. But if I don't have emunas chachamim and it's only up to me, I'm going to make a lot of mistakes, and it's going to take me in the wrong way, the wrong place. Mishpat meukal. Dahainu. So what does it mean? He's going to tell me one more time. Dahainu sheyakabel, that I have to receive. He's saying it again. Do you hear this? I have to be makabel. When I have emunas chachamim, I'm makabel, I'm accepting, I'm receiving from them. Not making my own shtusin. I'm receiving. Sheyakabel ve'yilmad mikol halimudim sheloimed. I have a lot of learning going on. This is, of everything that I'm saying, this is maybe the loosest one, right? A part of the Mehalech. But I'm learning, I'm learning from the learning that I'm learning. There's a lot of learning going on. I have a lot of stuff that I'm learning, right? But it's not necessarily going to do anything unless it's going the right way. Unless I'm makabel from all of this learning that I'm doing, right? Then it's going to come out mishpatei hanhagas, a new level, right? When I'm makabel from them, I receive from them, I accept them, I have emunas chachamim, and then I learn all of their words in this way, I'm going to be able to bring out mishpatei hanhagas. When I'm on that pathway, that derech, where I'm not at home in the secure place. I'm not by the pillar. I'm out on the path, and I don't know exactly what to do. I'm in unfamiliar territory. Everything that I've learned, because I've drawn it and received it from the Chachamim, it's going to implant in me the ability to make the right decision, to not go right and to not go left. It's going to enable me to be a shofet, a judge, to make the right judgment in that place, to make the judgment call, to go straight, as opposed to pulling to the right or the left. You hear? Mishpatei hanhagas. Sheyeda. What time is it? Okay, almost done. Sheyeda. Eich leisnaeg. I'm going to know how to conduct myself. Okay, so we could go into a lot more over here. Okay, so I don't want to go into this now because that's a whole nother limud and we don't have time, right? But he finishes off by saying, all of this that we said, we're zoiche to al yedei emunas chachamim. The thing that I said over here that I think still makes a lot of sense is that all of this stuff, it's connected to emunas chachamim, but not directly. Emunas chachamim is going to enable me to grow in a way that I will be able to be this shofet. I will be able to make the right decision. How? Because I'm going to be makabel from them. I'm going to be makabel from them. I'm not going to tell them how they're wrong. I'm going to be makabel from them. I'm going to receive from them. And then all my learning is going to be received wisdom from them. They're going to implant within me the ability to think right. And now I'm going to be able to be a shofet, to make that mishpat judgment call, and I'm not going to go right, I'm not going to go left, I'm going to stay in the center. Because I'm zoicha to it because I start with emunas chachamim. Not exactly direct. You hear the difference? That's why I'm zoicha to it, and not just emunas chachamim means I do the right thing. Mamish amazing.
Okay.
One more minute. Shehu bechinas, and what is it? This whole concept that we just said, I'm going to be zoicha to this through emunas chachamim. Shehu bechinas lo yisasur. Everything we just said is a bechina of just these two words. Because of all this, you will not stray. You will not veer off. You're not going to go off the derech. Right? Not don't do it. You will not stray because of all this. Va'az yucha lahoitzi mishpatei hanhagas yesharais. Now that I'm not going to stray, he just told me, just look at the words here. Now we're going to be in the bechina of you will not stray. Now, when he says over here, Mishpatei Hanagas, he adds one word, Yesharis. Because you did this, because you had emunas chachamim, and you received your makabel, and you learned with emunas chachamim, now you're in the state where you're not lo yisasur. You will not stray anymore. And now, because you're in that state, your Mishpatei Hanagas are going to be Yesharis, straight. Yeah. You're not going right or left. That's who you're going to be. The chinas Mishpatei Emes, which is the aspect of Mishpatei Emes. She'eino noita liyamin usmol. I'm not sure why he repeats it there yet, right? But Mishpatei Emes. Why are they Mishpatei Emes? What's the inyan over here? We know that we have Chesed LaAvram. Avram is Chesed. Gevura is Yitzchak, and Tiferes. This is going back to the Amud Adam Sisa. Yaakov is Emes, right? And Yaakov is Tiferes. Chesed is Avram. Gevura is Yitzchak. Yaakov is Tiferes. Titein Emes leYaakov, right? Emes is that middle, and what does that mean? It means because of what I've built, because of what I'm zoicha to, from starting with emunas chachamim, and that tremendous emunas chachamim means I hear the lashonis of Chazal, and I mekabel, I drink it up as if I'm dying of thirst. This is what's going to save my life. I'm taking it in. I trust it 100%. Emunas chachamim, right? That puts me into a place now where I'm where I'm zoicha to not go to the right, not go to the left, but I'm zoicha to the middle, which is emes, which is mishpatei hanhagas, which is emes, titin emes leYaakov, the center path, right? And I'll finish off just by saying, I've had the whatever. I'm telling you, some people that I know will ask me questions, and they'll ask things like something that's a absolute given in the Orthodox world. Like a person could ask me, for example, like how do we really know that a woman has to go to the mikveh? Say a guy wants to be able to do what he wants to do, and he says he's trying to figure out that he should be allowed to be with the opposite gender when they haven't gone to the mikveh, when they're not tahor. Right? And he said, I don't see the words in the Torah anywhere. So I can tell him, listen, you got to look at the words over here. These words are darshaned. The Gemara darshans these words to understand that mei nida, for example, refers to the waters of a mikveh, and so on and so forth, and so on. Right? And so the person says, well, that's only if you subscribe to the system, if you really believe in the words of the Chamim. And at that point, when I have a conversation with a person like that, I say to them, conversation's over. Like I'm not interested. I have no interest. I will learn, I'll help you, we'll learn, we'll go together, we'll figure out. But if we have to be starting from a place that we have emunas chachamim, and that the words of the Gemara are 100% trustworthy, now we can learn. Now we can take it in. It's a g'roisa ma'isa, emunas chachamim. Something tremendously, tremendously important. And the Rebbe is telling us over here that it's not just an intellectual thing. This will completely change you as a person, completely change your life. You'll be able to make good decisions. You'll be able to be straight. You'll be able to be strong. You'll be able to have support and security, and you'll be confident that what you do in situations of challenge will be the right thing. Something amazing. So that is just, I wanted to give this over. I could be wrong. Once again, you could listen to this and say, you don't know what you're talking about. Me, you could say that too, right? But I wanted to do this to show how we can go through, ask questions, and then through the questions that we asked, begin to forge a pathway, forge a, what's the other word we used? Forge a methodology in understanding what the Rebbe is teaching us over here. Once again, it may change. It for sure is going to change. But it could even be thrown out completely, and I'm open to that, no problem. But this is a way to get started in the learning Likutei Moharan in depth. Okay, shkoyach, Chaver, shkoyach.